Shalom and welcome back. Passover is behind us. We're off and running in the direction of Mount Sinai, eagerly counting the days till we receive the Torah on Shavuot. This week in the Torah we read the portion of Shemini. In the portion of Shemini we read about, among other things, the laws of kosher animals. Now, the laws of kosher tell us something very important about creation itself. That is, that everything in creation has a divine spark, has a little piece of God that is enveloped in the husk of the physical. And by doing mitzvahs with physical objects, we elevate them and we give them their fulfillment, and their ultimate purpose is fulfilled in our performing mitzvahs with them. Now, this is true of everything except those things that we can't do mitzvahs with because we're forbidden to. For example, animals which are kosher are permissible, and that tells us that that divine spark in them is available to our mitzvahs and can be elevated by them. But those things that are not kosher, they're not kosher because the divine spark that is in them is trapped, if you will, in the physical and can't be elevated by our mitzvahs. So the foods that are kosher because the divine spark is available to elevation by us, and the foods that are not kosher are those in which the divine spark are not available. By the way, this explains the common Hebrew term used in halacha, used in the Talmud, and even used in Torah in some places. Those things that are permissible to us are known as mutar, which literally means unbound, and those things that are forbidden to us are known as asur, which means bound. So the divine spark is bound up in it and can't be elevated by our mitzvah, and therefore it's known as asur, it's forbidden. Forbidden because the only reason we would have, and the only right that we have to partake in anything outside of us, is if we serve it, and if we serve God with it. But if we can't help it, and we can't do something for God with it, then we have no right to tamper with it at all. Like the animal. Why would we kill an animal to eat it, if not for the purpose of elevating it and the divine spark in it? Now, this is true of everything in the world. But what about those things that cannot be elevated? Why then do they exist? What's with those divine sparks? Well, perhaps it could be said that when we don't engage with those things, when we don't eat things that are unkosher, we're actually elevating ourselves. The restraint and the discipline that it takes to avoid something that is otherwise tempting but forbidden, that elevates us. So the laws of kosher, of course, apply to what we eat, but the concept applies to everything.